Hey everyone, I so love that music. This is Golden Sai, your host. We're going to have an open panel tonight and a special guest. But first, I wanted to check in with everybody in chat and say hi to Daniel Riffle, Voy, Dr. Evil, Mud Rabbit, and Siri Syndicate. If I missed anyone, I do apologize. I wanted to let you guys know if you are new here, I do an astrology live stream so you guys can ask questions, usually twice a month. I haven't done one yet because we have kind of a push and pull going on between earth and water. And really, I'm going to wait another week. So if you're feeling a little stressed, if you're feeling a little restriction or over emotional, hey, Peanut. That is usually the push and pull between earth and water. But I wanted to bring a special guest on tonight. He's straight from Rumble. Hey, Algo, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. How's it going tonight, Golden?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Happy to
What you
be
been
here.
up? Happy New Year. How's your New Year going so far?
I don't think it's really New Year, so I don't really claim that January 1st is a New Year, but I'll say good.
There you go. What's your New Year? I'm just curious.
I would label it the spring equinox.
Oh, spring equinox. A lot of people believe that actually.
Not a pagan, but it makes a lot more sense.
I understand that. So, how you doing over in Rumble?
Rumble's been good. A lot of people that I didn't know are there now weekly saying hi. And I miss my YouTube friends, but I don't miss YouTube. So I think that's the most honest way I can say it. I do miss Cat in a Birdcage and Dr. Evils and Voynich and other people that I knew. They haven't made the transition, which is fine. People like YouTube, but as a someone who battled through YouTube through the COVID operation, I once they started bringing back like Richie from Boston and some other channels, I'm like, oh, okay, screw you guys. You're just no thanks.
Okay. So, I got to ask, what made you choose Batman?
Okay, originally, and I've told this story before. I think some people know, but I was when I started YouTube, it was 2018, and I was looking at my life, and I was really mad at chemtrails, so that's why I started the channel. But as I was thinking about what representation I would have, I realized that if anything that I'd ever done in this realm was good, then it came from me having a place of trauma. And so then that was the most accurate character that I could come up with.
You played off very well. We've known each other since about 2017, and I can say you are the Batman of the group.
uh,
I think everybody feels that way.
well, there you go.
um, so, what brought you into the Mandela effect? Like, did you notice logo changes, or are you like kind of like me with the personality changes with the Bible thing, or
Yeah, it wasn't anything that I'd necessarily noticed myself. I was clicking through. I had barely learned YouTube, and I was just clicking through, and it was a video, small channel, just a guy talking, and he's like, "Okay, so did Chick-fil-A change their logo, or am I going crazy?" And we had a Chick-fil-A right next to where I worked, and I
mm,
went outside, and I'm like, "What the hell? That's different. When did they do that?" So that was like the first thing in my mind thinking, I guess. And then a couple months went by and I didn't think anything of it. And then the Berenstain Bears thing came out and I'm like, what? No, that's never been that way. It always had an E. And so then I just kind of started looking through the realm and thinking, okay, what's the deal? And one video leads to another question and leads to another thing. And and I never really had any answer for any of it. It was just like, look, there it is. Oh, look, there it is. There it is. And then I bumped into Jason Christopher, who had a channel back in the day, and he was really into it. And he talked about different offshoots from it, different reality changes. And somewhere in there, I bumped into Quantum of Conscious Matt and listened to his jargon for a little while. So that's kind of how I found. I didn't notice that a person in my life had been replaced or been different. I didn't see any of that. My heart's always been in the center of my rib cage because that's the most protection it could ever get. Um, my kidneys have always been in the same place, so it wasn't anything like that.
Okay, were you always from Sagittarian or
That's what they
were you?
told us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I remember.
when I was a little dude in junior high school, and they were talking about fake space, they would say, "Yeah, you're out here on the way arm of the Sagittarius constellation."
Yeah, that's kind of my thing. Like I noticed people changes first. I'm not detailed oriented. So I'm people oriented. And I think in a way you are too. Like from streams I've seen you on and streams I've seen you done yourself and just spreading positivity and some hope into the world, right? And I kind of noticed people changes, and that's what made me sit back. And that's actually how I found J. Chris, because I YouTubed and searched in YouTube crazy shit going on in 2017. And I did the same thing in 2018. And I found Jay Christopher. And I was like, watched a bunch of his podcast and watched his live stream. And there you were. And the whole group. And it was a fun group to be a part of, I can honestly say. And I'm very happy that I was a part of it and trying to bring some of that back.
Got it. Which is admirable and good. And I would say I only started streaming because he left. And there were probably, I think, 6 people in 1 week sent me an email and said, so J. Chris is gone. You need to do this. And I'm like, what? And they said, no, really, he's gone. He's not coming back. And you used to call in all the time and you used to talk to him. And so you should do it. And I had no idea what I was going to say. But I did for a while. And I think like the first or second time, I didn't know what to do. So I'd recently published a book. So I just read a chapter. And then a bunch of people talked about different things. And then I said, come on up, be yourself. You got something to say, or nobody hears you, but you want to be heard. You can do it anonymously here because we've got 12 people watching. So come on down. And then it just kind of built that way.
Yeah, I used to watch your shows on YouTube. I used to lurk. I was a lurker.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of your shows on YouTube. And I like how you do interviews. Do you still do the interview format on Rumble?
Yeah, pretty much the same thing. I did like 6 months ago. I said, hey, if you're a subject matter expert in anything and you want to promote anything, then get a hold of me and we'll just do one-on-one interview and I won't do more people. Then nobody was into that. So I just basically do what I used to do.
Yeah, I think it works for you, honestly.
Oh, thanks.
I do. I've watched, like I said, I followed you, or not like I'm stalking you, but I followed you on YouTube and now on Rumble. And do you want to post your Rumble chat or your Rumble channel and chat?
Oh, yeah, I could put it in the private chat for you.
Okay.
Because I don't have a wrench, but I don't need a wrench. So, and I'd say the challenging part when you get people maybe that you don't necessarily know who want to click and join, I'm great with that. That's kind of fun. But I've had people contact me when they were in emotional distress, and they're sharing that openly on the internet, which is kind of blows my mind a little bit. But they were doing it, and I was like, uh-oh, don't say anything wrong, because you never know what influence you have on a person. And if you say the wrong thing, or you say something that is gonna further their distress, that's not a good thing,
Yeah, I agree. And that's why I have, You know, and I don't know if you've heard me say it before, but we impact each other, and we can either impact each other in a positive way or in a negative way. And I actually have a short called Relationships that talks about that.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing we're not taught, right? We're not taught that in school, and they're not taught, at least not now. I think our generation more was taught, you know what I mean? Was taught about that. But the generations now aren't taught that, like, hey, your actions have this consequence and can have a negative impact on someone else.
Right.
And you don't know who somebody else is going, what troubles they're going through. I've also had people contact me, you know, in a tough spot, in a hard spot in life. And some of them are lurking right now. And I can just say a prayer for them. And if they need to talk, they're not alone. Right.
Yeah, for sure.
So having communities like yours and mine and a few others that I've met through you, like Indy, and we all know Peanut. Sometimes that's a
Double-edged sword.
Peanut can be a double-edged sword, yes. And having, a place to go and just decompress from stress and from what they're dealing with in life is important.
Yeah.
So,
So yeah, Mud Rabbit is asking what my channel is. I put it in the private chat when you have time, but go ahead.
okay, let me get that. So I ask everybody, I believe everybody should have a theme song. Theme songs
Okay.
make life so much better. If you're in a hard spot or you need a push to kind of get you motivated to do something, what's your theme song?
I don't have one.
Oh, you got to get a theme song.
They vary a lot.
Yeah, you could have multiple theme songs for different things.
Right. So if by chance something's going on, and I don't really like play a theme song in my head as much as I would narrate the thing that's going on. And that detaches me from it.
Okay. Mine
Almost
was
like
Blister
yours
when
is
I was
what?
young. Blister in the Sun.
Okay.
As I walk in, that's.
Yeah.
But it does vary. It does vary from time to time. But I think it's important to have to keep your mood in a positive way and energy up.
I agree.
So have you noticed any changes in people by any chance?
Not that I wouldn't account to societal changes. I haven't ever seen like a replacement avatar come in.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, because sometimes and I've heard stories where a friend's husband, she's like, "This is not the same man I married. He's just different, these are the reasons or things that are different. He doesn't smell the same." It's so could be, but I haven't seen any of that on a personal level. I have seen people change based on societal pressures, economic pressures, nonsense in the world. Some for the better, and some not so much. But
Do you feel like you've been on like some spiritual journey since the earlier years when this stuff first started?
way before that,
Way
way before that. Yeah, when I was 14 years old, I used to climb up on the roof and hang out and just look at the neighborhood and stuff, and kind of to get away from my family. But they weren't horrible; they didn't beat me or anything, but just too much. So I'd get up there and sit on the roof, and I remember sitting there one day and I'm thinking, "Oh, all these people are doing this wrong. This is just not how we should be living." And I added, of course, adolescent brain, but that it did make me wonder. And my mother was a big seeker in the 60s, and she had Cat Stevens records, and she had books from Cahill Gibran, and not your typical suburban childhood, I guess. So I'd grown up with that, and I grew up thinking that I had a puzzle to solve. And when I went through a divorce in my late 20s, and so about 27 years old, I just started reading books and reading books and reading books, and it put me more on a spiritual seeking path.
Well, I understand that. I kind of went through that a little bit at the age of 14 as well. I was looking at where I fit in, what religion I fit into,
Mhm.
and kind of gave that up before I hit 16 because I was like, I just don't fit in the box. There's just no way I fit in the box. So I kind of shoved it away for years, but led by how I felt people should be treated, you know what I mean? And things that should be done and that kind of stuff. I basically took the different lessons of the different religions and applied them in my life.
Oh, yeah,
Does that
okay.
make sense?
Oh, totally.
So I'm kind of non-denominational because of that reason. I just don't fit in a certain box. But I got closer, I guess, when the Mandela effect really impacted me. The year was 2018, and I got really spiritually aware, more so than I was, and led me on this crazy road that has up and downs, valleys, high mountains, but I enjoyed it. And honestly, for me, I came out a stronger person.
Yeah, for sure. I could see that.
And I think, like, with society, everything going on with society, I can sit back and be like, no, this isn't right. Like, how it's going isn't right. It's just
Right.
not right. So, do you play an instrument? Do you sing? What do you do?
Well, I don't really have a singing voice, so I don't sing.
So no
Um,
karaoke?
yeah, I'm not one of those folks. Um, the, I picked up a guitar,
There you go.
and I've been learning chords and playing a little bit of music, mostly for fun, not because I think I'm gonna master it, you know. But as far as what do I do, I really just experience this life and report back to Creator, I guess. That's the
There
best way
you
to
go.
say it.
I know you're into music, though. I know you've
No,
been
yeah,
into
I love
music.
music. Yeah,
Yeah, you've been into music for a long time.
for sure. Holy shit, it's Curse Zero.
Oh yeah, Curse comes here.
Nice.
He likes to check in, tell me he exists. I'm glad you exist, Curse.
Me too.
I'm glad you exist.
I have had some interesting discussions with Curse Zero.
Oh yeah, he's fun to talk to. How about I open up the panel? What do you think, Algo?
You run your show as you see fit. I'm happy to anything's fine by me.
All right, link will be posted in the chat.
Did you
Have
ever
you?
go ahead?
No, go ahead. What'd you say?
I was going to ask you, did you ever come to a conclusion about Mandela effect? What caused it, why it happened, things like that, or did you stay away from that?
No, I actually, my conclusion is it's a 120-year cycle. And I went back to I traced it back all the way to 1457 or 4. And this happens throughout time. It's a cycle. It gets rid of the old to make room for the new.
Okay.
So I have a whole live stream about cycles. If you're interested, check it out. We have, like, there's so many different cycles that we go through in a lifetime, like astrologically, we do 20-year cycles. And right now it's the fixed signs 20-year cycle. But the 120-year cycle is the reset cycle. And that's when everything goes haywire. We learn from our mistakes. If you look, society is making a lot of the same mistakes we've already made.
Okay.
And
No, I would definitely want to go watch that. But with that 120-year cycle, I guess I'm curious now, since you brought that through, is well, how does that relate to Mandela effect?
well, it changes it basically, it's a test. How much do you remember? How much did you learn throughout the years? And part of the Mandela effect is a distraction.
Got it.
So if you're focusing on this, like, I know it's a touchy subject with some people, but if you look at the Bible changes, the words in the Bible can change, but did you know the lessons of it?
Right. Yeah, that's fair. I can see that.
You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah,
not
just
saying
understand.
anybody that goes word for word through the Bible is wrong. That's my take on it, though. So if you know the lessons of the Bible never changes.
Even if it's a fictional wine bottle instead of a wineskin.
Right. That's just a distraction. Even if it's a couch or a sofa, or if Winketh, which is one of the more crazier ones, I think, Winketh is in there. If you know the actual lessons in the story, because it used to be called Bible lessons, right? Or Bible teachings. It wasn't like Bible read word for word and memorize. It was there's a greater message in there.
Right, yeah, for sure. Which I think
So
is like most books though, right?
yeah, most books have a greater lesson. So it's how well do you know the lesson? How well did you know? What did you learn from it? And can you follow through with that? And that's just the Bible aspect of the Mandela effect. But a lot of the other stuff is a lot of distraction. And the 120-year cycle erases everything. I mean, the other thing is we jumped Earth, Earth tilted, and the magnetism is messing with our memories. But because I've seen things change right in front of me, I can say no, that's not that. There's something missing in that theory. But the 120-year cycle is the closest that I've come to explaining it.
Gotcha.
Getting rid of the old to make room for the new kind of deal.
Okay.
And how much did you learn? Like, there's no reason why we should be going through some of the things in society because we've already done it. We already know the outcome of it. So we shouldn't be repeating it.
Right.
Right? But then again, a lot of people don't know history. And not knowing history or not have learned history kind of can create that. You know what I mean?
No, for sure. Yeah. So, but so you give me so many questions when you're talking. I like it. Is it so? Is this just a natural spiritual ascendant cycle, or do you think there is a dark force battling a good force in this realm?
I think there's a dark and a light force, both good and evil. You have the yin and yang. You can't have one without the other. That one's for cursed. Can't have light without dark. I do believe that, but I think that it's just, one of those things that if you have the two forces fighting it out or battling it out, who learned from it? We were old enough, we should have learned what our parents went through, how they fixed it, how they changed it, and what actually works. And maybe the methods that we learned didn't work long term. They were just short term fixes to long term problems, which then gives us an opportunity to put together different things that we've learned and take it from there and kind of maybe create a different type, a different style of doing things, new ideas, innovate, create. That's important because what we leave now is going for the next generations, but we still live here. We still are on earth. So we have to think about what impacts us as well. And I think we need to come up with better ideas and new ways of doing things. But I think we need to bring traditionalism back. I think that's an important part.
And by traditionalism,
More values and morals and living more by, family and creating deeper connections with each other.
right?
We have superficial connections. You know what I mean? But creating something deeper. Like, we don't have a village can raise a kid anymore. You go to tell somebody their kid's acting a fool, and then you're in a fight with the parent. Do you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So you got to bring some of that back. Gardening as well, homesteading, learning how to live off the land. Some of that has to come back too. Not being
Right.
so dependent on government, that needs to come back too. I think a lot of things need to go back to a more traditionalist type of way of life, but add some of the new stuff in it too. It doesn't have to be just one way or the other, right?
Right. Yeah. We don't have to get rid of the internet. We can just not abuse it.
Exactly.
And yeah, it's challenging in my mind. I mean, I hear what you're saying, and I completely agree. I look around out there, and for every half step that people like you or other people in your chat make, thinking wise about that, it seems like the outside system pushes two steps back.
Yeah, and that's the darker part of it, right? Because when you're doing something good, you don't just expect like the negative energies or entities to just be like, okay, go ahead, do all the good. You're going to get pushback.
Right.
But if we keep going, the more of us that keep going forward and the more forward we keep going and kind of just push the darkness or push the darker negative stuff out of the way, we'll get through. I can't sit here and say that what you've done, what I've done, what other people who have impacted other people have done in life was a waste of time. You've had positive, I know you have positive, I guess you could say, influences on people. I've had positive influences on people. Don't discount that. That matters. That
Right.
definitely matters. And for everybody that's watching, they probably have as well. Everybody that's in chat, they have as well. We all have gathered for a reason.
No, for
You know what I
sure.
mean?
And like energy attracts like energy, generally speaking.
Yeah. So the 120-year cycle gets rid of the old stuff to bring in the new. See how much you learned and what path we're going to take. So it comes in increments of 30 years. Every 30 years, there's a minor snag or a small little path that, think of it like two roads. In 30 years from 2016, we're going to have a little break in where we go. And then every 30 years, it does that in 120. It just erases everything and kind of like, hey, how much have you learned? Like, do we really need to have the stock market crash? No, we don't really need that. Do we really need, inflation as high as it is? No, we don't. So let's find solutions. And so that the generations after us don't have to go through this
Yeah.
as hard as we are.
No, I think that's smart. I wonder myself when I look at their nonsense that they do out there. We can find ways around it as individuals, And I honestly believe there are a ton more people that think the way you and I do in this place throughout our nation, and they don't say anything, and they're just trying to get by, and they're trying to keep their head down. And maybe not the specifics of Mandela or things like that, but they can see where the greed and corruption systems that we were born into have failed and are always going to fail. And I think they can see that and maybe not sure what to do about it. I don't know what to do about it en masse. I can tell an individual what to do, and they'll probably be pretty good. But as far as like how do we all do it together, I'm not sure of those answers. But I do think a lot of people see that now.
Yeah, and I think even if it's helping one person that helps another person, it's a chain reaction. It gets by, there are people out there that just talk to people. And I guess we're a part of that, right? And
Oh,
that
for
has
sure.
a positive impact.
How many times in public do you wind up in a conversation about things that you talk about on the internet with people in the analog world?
Um, Not too much politically or religious. Well, actually, religiously, I do. I
Yeah.
do end up talking to people. And spiritually, I wind up talking to people about spiritual nature and religious a lot. Actually, I've had people come up to me and talk to me, and I'm kind of like, I don't even know you. I'm like, I don't even know you, but okay, if you have something you want to say, all right, I'm willing to listen. My husband cracked up because um, I this lady come up to me and she was talking to me and he's like, "Does she know you?" Because she knew my name,
Oh, wow.
and I don't know how she knew my name. I said, "I don't know her. I don't know her. We were in a different state." I was like, "I don't know her," but she knew my name was Chris, and she's like, "How are you doing? And how's the life going?" And I'm like looking at her like, I don't know who you are, chick. I don't know who you are. And I just started talking, like she brought up a conversation and it was just the weirdest thing. And he's looking at me, he's like, all right, how much are we gonna have to go through this stuff? Like, how much are you on YouTube? But it just happens. And we have people that want to join. Actually, Mud Rabbit. Have you talked to Mud Rabbit before, Algo?
I don't think so.
All right. Mud Rabbit is wonderful. She brings the receipts. She's in a lot of the conspiracy world. So I'm gonna bring her up, and then I got a nut beaten at the back door. So welcome to the stage, Mud Rabbit and Peanut.
Hey,
Hey
can you guys hear
Mud.
me?
Hey Nut.
Hey, hi
Oh
Algo.
my god, so weird. I can't hear you guys.
Hi,
I
Mud
cannot
Rabbit.
hear you.
You can't hear
Um,
Peanut. Try.
well, I guess I can't stay because I can't hear you guys. But what's up,
Unmute.
everyone? Real quick, I don't know you like that. That's what I was thinking when you said you don't know someone. All right, sorry. I'll try to figure out my mic and come back. I think you guys can hear me, but I can't hear you guys. I don't know why.
Sometimes going out and coming back works.
Yeah, I was gonna say come back.
Hi,
Sorry
Mud
about
Rabbit.
that.
Oop, there he
So,
went.
yeah. So Mud Rabbit, this is Algorithm. Algorithm. This
Hi
is Mud Rabbit.
Algo. It's nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you. Nice to talk to you.
Good to talk to you too. Oh, and I want to say, Katina, I missed you too. Cat in a birdcage. Katina birdcage.
Yeah.
So you guys have
go
a
ahead.
lot. Oh, here comes the nut. Nut, can you hear us this time? I guess
Okay,
not.
so when he
Where'd he
comes
go?
back next time, don't say anything.
Or I'll just be quiet.
Yeah. If you tap your microphone, it'll probably make the little ring go, and then he won't know. No, we don't have to trick him. I'm just kidding. I like Peanut. He works hard. He tries hard. I think he's a decent person. I've
He
never
is
met him in
very-
person. But
Peanut is great.
I was muted waiting for him. You said don't talk, so I muted.
no, it would be funny, but it's kind of mean. So I don't want to be mean.
Peanut, try to come up again. You have a
Throw
show
him a
coming.
rope.
We'll throw you the rope.
Everybody pull.
Well, so part of why I asked you about that and how you, if you bump into people and you end up talking about stuff like that.
All
Yeah.
the time.
I was at a little store the day that Minnesota shooting thing happened, and there was a television on nearby, and there were 3 of us waiting to see this guy, and like we just totally fell into this easy conversation about media lies and the divide and conquer agenda against humanity and the Rosicrucians who probably are leading it, and just a whole variety of topics in a really little, like 8-minute period of time. And
I
if
get
you
into
would,
those all the time.
yeah,
Yeah.
and if you'd have looked at the 3 of us, you would have thought there's no way these 3 have the same knowledge base, just from a physical appearance and an age difference and a, you know. But that's why I think there's so many more people out there that realize the current paradigm we're in is nonsense and it does need to change.
I agree.
There he is.
There, Nut. Can
Hey,
you
Peanut.
hear?
Did you make it?
Now we can't hear him.
Peanut, try going in your audio. If you're using a headset, make sure the settings are set. So you go to settings, go to audio, and there's a little drop down there.
I got it. Oh, I figured it out. All right. Sorry, you guys. You just now popped on and I started hearing you. Sorry.
No, you're good. You can hear us.
Yeah, all that time I think you guys were, just based upon the last few words I heard, I figured that you guys were giving me instructions, but it was funny because I wasn't hearing the instructions the whole time. You're like giving instructions to nobody, and then like finally I pushed the right button and I got in, and then I heard you at the end. So there you go.
There you have it. Yep, Golden was trying to coach you through it.
I was trying.
Right, exactly. It's like the little engine that could.
Hear the little engine.
I think I can. I think I can.
So how are you doing today?
How you doing?
How you doing? I'm doing all right.
All right. You know, hey, Mud Rabbit. What's up? Hey, Algo. What's going on, Algo?
Hi.
Hi,
Nice to
Peanut.
meet you.
Nice to meet you, too.
So you have a stream? You have a stream going on tonight, Nut?
I do. I have a stream going on in an hour and 21 minutes. You lucky dog, you.
I know.
I know, right?
I
It's
know.
like you got. I know that you know that I know.
I know that you know that I know. Anyway.
I know that you know that Algo knows that Mud Rabbit knows that I know that you know that I know that you know.
I just figure y'all know.
You're gonna have to tame him, Algo.
Whatever it is.
Not
Do
my
we
circus, not my monkeys.
Right.
So
That's
Mud
my
Rabbit is in. Mud Rabbit has a lot of information, and she has links to back it up. She comes with receipts. So I figured you guys would like to talk.
All right. Hey, Mud Rabbit. What's up?
Hey, how are you?
How you? Oh, hey,
I'm doing fantastic.
right on. So, like, have you? I personally don't think mud flood is real. You know what I mean? But I know people. I believe a lot of other conspiracy theory stuff. But how do you fall on that? Is a mud flood real, or is it not? Not a right or wrong?
It's a curiosity. I don't know either way. There's a lot of interesting things that are turning up that people are seeing more and more, but I don't know how to explain it, and I don't want to take somebody's word for it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I see that.
I mean, the buildings are there, and they're not. I mean, even in some of the towns that I've lived were old towns, and they had old buildings in them. They probably torn them down by now, but I do think something happened because I've mentioned it before. My great grandmother was placed on an orphan train and sent east. I don't
Wow,
know
your great
where
grandmother
from.
was orphan trained.
Yeah, I don't know where she came from, but I do know she came east on an orphan train with her brother, and they were placed in an orphanage in Ohio.
Well, that explains Ohio.
Well, it explains a lot. That explains that there was a lot more people out west than we were led to believe.
Were there people, or were there just little baby factories?
I don't know. We don't know. I know there were incubators at the World's Fair in Chicago,
Right, and you could take a baby home.
right?
And then more than just Chicago, several World's Fairs around the turn of last century.
I believe my great grandmother went into a factory. She worked.
Oh, she worked in a factory.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kansas.
That's all I know. I was 6 years old, 5 and 6 when she told me this. So that's what
Wow.
I remember.
Does your family have any documents that she had or she was brought with or given?
No, nothing like that. The search ends. My daughter-in-law did family history. She's into the ancestry thing. And that branch of the family ended with her mother and her father. And that was Hill, the last name.
Wait, so with your great grandmother's mother and father?
Yeah, that's as far as we can go on that branch.
Okay.
Because she knew her parents.
Did she know what happened to them?
She never told me. I don't know if she knew.
Do you know how old she was when she got on the orphan train?
I think she was, let me think. Must have been about 9 or 10.
Okay. So older.
Yeah. Her brother was younger.
That's a mind-boggling part of American history to me.
Yeah, it is. And we didn't even know about that when I was growing up. I found out about that in my 30s, I think. I knew about it from her, but it was always in my head as an anomaly. And then stuff started coming out on the internet. You know, the internet came into our house in 96. So then I got a little more information on it, but not much.
Right, like they didn't teach that.
No.
That's insane, isn't it?
And the only reason I knew was because she told me.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in the schools that isn't taught. Like
Yeah.
I think even now they're even in high school they don't know how to read a lot of the time.
Yeah, there's a lot I learned in school. I went to elementary school in the 60s, and there's a lot I learned, and my son didn't have some of those classes. They were taken
Right.
out of the curriculum. I'm
Like
in
civics.
Florida, so they're putting civics. Our governor's putting civics, home economics, shop, things like that back into the curriculum.
Oh, that's
Oh,
good.
yeah. I used to love shop. Like also like they don't teach things like about like Charles Martel. You know who Charles Martel is, Mud Rabbit?
Can't say as I do.
Like he was like, real quick, he was just like he lived in France before it was France, and he stopped like pretty much single-handedly stopped the incursion of Muslims into Europe. Like
No, I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, without him, we'd all be Muslim right now. And yeah, that's how it's like such a big, huge turning point in history. No one ever learns about it. He was, I think he was like the great grandfather or grandfather or something of like Charlemagne.
Okay.
Yeah, and the only reason I bring it up, I don't want to dwell on it, but it was just like it was intriguing to me that like they left that whole part out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it's like things like that aren't taught. It gets filled in that void with something else. So I think like people are kind of brainwashed to think that like we need to feel bad about the Crusades and this, that, and the other thing, but people don't know the whole context. So that leads one to think certain things like slavery. You know,
Yeah.
like I'm not saying it's a good thing, but like it's way more nuanced and complicated than the way it's presented. You know, so it's like it's presented to think, oh, white people need to feel guilty about everything. So
Yeah, right. No, we're learning that everything we've been taught, you know, a lot of important stuff has been left out. And ever since the internet came along, which was no accident, the internet itself was given to us. I believe it was the Navy.
yeah, you were some armed forces. Yep, I just
Yeah.
learned about that recently. I didn't even know that. I was like, whoa.
No, it wasn't even recent. I got my first computer in 1996, but I had friends who had had them in their colleges as early as the late 80s.
Interesting. I
So,
can
and
see that.
I've been online since 1996 and have seen it evolve. But yeah, ever since it came along, that's part of the whole Kennedy thing. This whole white hat thing has been going on since the 60s, since he was assassinated. And when they dropped the internet for public use, people started learning stuff that they weren't supposed to know.
Yeah, it's like a double-edged sword, I guess, isn't it? You know,
Well,
like
yeah, these are things we should have been taught. This is our history that we should have learned, but the powers that be never wanted us to know it. Knowledge is power, and they fear us when we have knowledge.
yeah, I kind of wondered, like, you know how like the elites, Illuminati, whatever you want to call them,
Hmm.
that they have these really long-range plans, and so I wonder when they first made the internet from the military, if they knew where point A was going to lead to point B. You know, like we're part of this ultimate design that leads to like this whole cyber reality taking like its big brother and everything, etc., and all that comes out of that.
I think it's what you said. It's a double-edged sword. There are people out there trying to use it for good, which is why it got released preemptively to the public before the deep state was ready to let us have it. It was supposed to be with a very truncated internet. And when we got it in 96, the internet was wide open, and I've watched it get closed down bit by bit over the years.
Kind of like being herded.
Yes, exactly. But
Right.
there are places you can go to talk to people and still get things out. When I first got on the internet, we used Merc. If you had an Apple computer, you used Perch. I guess you would call it an app, but you had to download it from download.com, and you could go on Undernet, Downnet, all the nets, and talk to people everywhere. And now, with the advent of Facebook, it drew a lot of people in that really didn't know how to use the internet. So now we're seeing a bunch of narcissistic idiots out there just telling the world all about themselves, their names, where they live, what they do, and then they wonder why they get doxxed.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, yeah.
So I think there are good guys out there that released it, and there are bad guys out there scrambling to control it.
I want to hear you moo again, Peanut.
Ooh. Come on, dude. Everybody, let's all move.
Moo. I have chickens. I'll cluck.
All right.
Don't tell him that. He might hold you to it.
Oh, I'll be right back. Hold that thought.
Uh-oh. We're in trouble now.
Uh-oh, he's coming back with something.
Well, and I kind of wonder, Mud Rabbit, if when the ARPANET was turned into the internet and they did release it to the select few households that had PCs in the 90s, my personal feeling is not some white hat released it so we could all get it and then they had to come shut it down. I think they let it loose to data harvest and to find the people that they wanted to find, personality types and intellect types. And I think it was maybe for me, it was more of a probing issue.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. And I agree with that, especially with the games that the children play, because the way they evolve, they're teaching them how to be soldiers.
Yeah, building little drone pilots.
Yeah, and all kinds of stuff like that by putting the simulation right in the home. But the simulations back then, they weren't all that great, but I do think that's part of both sides. I think both the good guys, the white hats and the black hats, both want recruits. So that I think that's all part of it. I think it's going to eliminate schools as we know them.
That might not be a bad thing.
No, I don't think it will be a bad thing. I think the only thing I worry about is socialization. You'd have to have some sort of program so that kids can socialize. Because as it stands right now, they're all glued to their phones.
Right.
They don't use critical thinking like we had to back in the 60s. And kids back then were truly free range. They're not free range anymore. They just go up the block, or, they still have some sort of boundaries. Oh my God, we used to get on our bikes and go all the way into town. So yeah, kids are too sheltered. They've got their noses stuck to, what do they call it, the black mirror.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we're going to have to use it for good, because if we don't, our kids are the ones that are going to suffer.
Hey, I want to welcome Lost to the stage. Hey, Lost, how are you?
Hey, Gio.
Hello. Hello.
What's up, guys? What's up? Happy Saturday.
How you doing,
Happy
Lost?
Saturday.
too.
It's Saturday?
I think it is. I hope it is. Hold on, let me check. Yeah, it's Saturday. Thank God.
Holy moly, my days are going too fast.
Saturday.
How's everyone doing?
I'm
Doing
doing
good.
fine.
Doing
He
good,
wants
thanks.
to
How
be
about you?
singing Saturday.
I'm in the
Saturday.
Northeast. We're having like a snowstorm, so it's like snowing today and tomorrow. So
We got a break from the cold tonight, so I could leave the chickens out in the coop. It's not getting any colder than 59 degrees. Thank goodness.
Wow.
Well, I have room for one more up here. If anybody else wants to join, I'm dropping the link again.
oh crap,
I got it.
you're limited to the amount of guests. You're limited to 6.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Well, 6 people, 5 plus me.
Well, I'll get off then, because I've already been on.
No, don't do that.
You
Like, you
don't
should
Get
No,
off.
stick around. It's an open panel.
stick around. There's nobody else going on right now.
Exactly. Nobody else is backstage.
right? Exactly.
All right. Well, maybe someone else wants to speak, but I'll stay on, I guess, for a little bit.
Hey, you paid to have your seat on the bus. No sense in leaving now.
I'm sorry, say that again.
I said you paid your ticket to get on the bus. No sense in leaving now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But I guess I'll
Yeah,
stay
put
on.
that seatbelt on and sit down.
I already
You
paid.
know, don't get carried away now. We like to ride dangerously.
You always ride dangerously, not.
You're the driver, so I have no idea where you're taking this bus, but
Yeah, right.
There's no GPS here.
we're on our own. We're off the grid.
Yeah,
We're all
we all just get on a bus. We don't know the driver or where they're going.
Yeah, exactly. We can't be bothered asking questions like that. We'll find out where we're going when we get there.
So, what do you guys think of what's next to come? Like,
What's next? Can you be a bit more specific?
well, with society, what's next to come? Like, where is the bus going? Where is the
I
bus?
have an idea, but nobody believes me.
All right, well, we'll listen
I
to
think
you. We'll hear you out.
I think the ride's going to get really bumpy because nobody took care of the road.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
we're going to hit a few. Yep, we're going to hit a few barriers and a few potholes, but once we get past all that, it's downhill smooth sailing, and it's going to be nice. But this year is going to be somewhat chaotic. There's going to be big changes, but when the dust settles, we'll all be fine.
Maybe this is like one of those tour buses, like in Monterey, and it turns into a boat, and we end up
We need somebody in the back with a microphone.
right. They're like, giving us like directions of where we're at. And if you look,
Yeah, right. The tour guide.
I'll be back.
Keep hands and feet
Keep
inside
all appendages in the boat, in the bus.
in the bus.
Don't pet the hippos.
Peanut. So,
Okay,
I
so
think- what?
oh, I was going to say where this thing goes from my
Yeah.
viewpoint. If you're familiar with Agenda 2030 at all,
I'm not. Why don't you give me a quick synopsis?
I am.
so the United Nations long time ago set up their Sustainable Development Goals for Agenda 21 that was supposed to happen in 2021, and they shifted gears in about 2016 to 2030. And unfortunately, the United Nations has a lot of power over the minds
I'll
of
go.
leaders.
My apologies, Algo. I gotta go. I just want to say goodbye to you, Algo. And Mud Rabbit, nice to meet you.
It
Lost,
was nice to meet you.
My golden side. See you guys. Guys, have a good day.
Nice
Take
to
care,
meet you.
Peanut.
Peanut.
Oh, well,
I do
gotta-
believe he just defunded the UN, and isn't the United Nations ambassador in New York leaving?
Maybe so. It could
Mhm.
be. So with the backdrop of Agenda 2030, it's their 19 Sustainable Development Goals, which has been the push for everything you've seen in the past decade,
Yeah.
from transgenderism to, stack and pack cities to not driving cars and battery cars and all these things that we're seeing. If we don't avoid digital currency, not even digital ID, but if we don't avoid digital currency, that plan will come to fruition.
I think it's already been sidelined.
How so?
The gold and the silver are skyrocketing. Now, the banks sold off their backup years ago. They don't have anything in stock. And now with the price of, when gold hit past $75, they started panicking. We were told in the drops that gold will kill the Fed, and gold, I believe, is at 4,600 something right now. They
Uh-huh.
can't cover that. What they're doing right now is they're trying to destroy the Federal Reserve and put everything back the way it was in the Treasury. This is why he's going back to tariffs, because prior to 1969, we didn't have to worry too much about income tax. We still had it, but it wasn't something you worried about. But over the years, it's gotten worse. It's gotten worse. The IRS is the collection agency for the feds, and the feds are not voted in. They are a private institution, the Federal Reserve.
Right.
And this is what they've vowed to do. Today's administration is to destroy the Fed. And from the price of precious metals right now, it's happening. The banks are freaking out. And now he's made a rule that Blackstone cannot buy up, corporations cannot buy up private homes like they've been doing. So now they're going to have to sell all of those, and they're going to sell them at a loss. And that's going to further hurt the Fed.
And do you think that Trump has the legal ability to say that private
It's
equity
not
can't
Trump
buy?
that's doing it. Trump
No,
is the
no,
figurehead. He's
private
he's
equity.
the target.
Do you think there's a legal mechanism that says private equity can't buy single family homes?
Well, the problem we're having right now is that Blackstone, which is affiliated with BlackRock and Vanguard, has been buying up, and we've seen it here in Florida, especially in South Florida, where they're buying up private homes. This is to make people eternal renters, and it's driving up the price of homes because we have a shortage,
Right.
because they own them all.
Yeah. All across
So
the nation.
now what he's done is he's already made an order. I think it was just today or yesterday I think it was yesterday that they can no longer buy up private homes. They can't make a monopoly on something like that because the money's coming from NGOs.
Right. No, I was just curious if you thought there was a legal mechanism that allowed
Oh, but yeah,
that to be
absolutely.
true.
So what's going to happen, I do believe we're seeing Agenda 2030 getting very close in Europe. It's not going to happen here because we're not those people. And he's already deported close to 3 million. That's another thing that's driving up prices. So 3 million people deported. I do believe that by the end of 2026, we're going to see prices come down, especially gasoline. And when that comes down, everything else comes down.
Well, I hope you're right.
They've already sidelined. This is a military operation. This isn't Trump's doing. He's just very good at finance. And they approached him, I believe it was in the 80s, because this operation's been going on since the late 60s. So now he's in, he can make the orders. The military is backing him up. If anybody paid attention when he took his first inaugurational speech in 2016, do you remember?
No, not off the top of my head.
Standing on either side of him was a JAG officer. Look at the bands on their hats and look at their insignia. Each one of those was a JAG officer from each brand of the military. We can't prosecute these people, some of these people, in civilian court. They're going to go to military tribunals. And that's what was the significance of all the JAG officers standing either side. And that's the 2016 election when he did, what was that, 2017, he had the inauguration speech.
Right.
The thing with the BlackRock, that's what they did in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
They took one of the most rundown, low-income
They
neighborhoods.
gentrify it, yeah.
They bought it. They bought some buildings in there to property tax out the existing residents.
Mm-hmm.
Once the existing residents could not pay the property taxes and live there or afford
They
to
have
live
to
there,
sell.
they bought the whole neighborhood.
Yeah.
They build them up, and these are not typically expensive. Most of the houses built there were built in the 40s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. They're not new homes.
And
But
not every state has homestead exempt for the homeowners either. And those that do usually cap it, like in Florida, I believe it's 50,000.
So they outprice. That's what I was talking to
Yeah.
you about yesterday, Algo. They outprice people so that no one can live there unless they make a lot of money. Then they turn around and sell these houses that are typically $30,000 houses, and they're actually 30,000, and they sell them for $1 million.
Oh, they don't sell them; they rent them. They keep them.
No, the ones that I'm talking about, they sold.
Oh, yeah, they make a profit.
They sell them, and I'm sure they rented some of them as well. But
and that drives property taxes up in the neighborhood.
Right, and that's what they're planning to do, and they have done this in neighborhoods like low income neighborhoods to push the residents out.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we moved to a completely different state.
Yeah, you just got to get away from it. That's why I left where I'm at. It's just getting ridiculous. But yeah, the more they own and the more they fix it up, the higher your taxes go. And if your state doesn't have homestead exempt, in a matter of 10 years, you could pay more in taxes than your house was worth originally. So that's another thing he's working on, because young people today, young newlyweds, are complaining they can't afford a home. I mean, homes that you used to buy for $29,000 to $50,000 are now running for $500,000, and they're shacks.
Right.
So yeah, that's what the order is about, so that people like us can afford to buy homes, and newlyweds can afford their first home, because right now they're being priced out of the market.
I said before, I'll say it again. I hope you're right.
Yeah.
Now, there are some states that have like the home buyers assistance and first home buyers assistance that will help you get a house in
And then
different
you have FHA and VA.
in that state. But
Yeah.
You have to stay in that house for a specified amount of time. Like North Carolina is 15 years. You have to, if you take their home buyers assistance, you have to stay there for 15 years. If you don't stay there for 15 years, you have to pay a portion of it back to the state.
Got it.
So some states are kind of helping with the home buying situation. And I think that's kind of how it should be. Do you guys think it should be federal, or do you think it should be state by state?
Right now, we need to make it federal because not every, I mean, just look at Tim Walz. Oh my God, and Gavin Newsom, not every governor and not every state is honest with its citizens. So everything has to be cleaned up, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah, and for me, I'd say neither one. Neither one. Our system, our republic, wasn't designed to have a federal government this powerful.
Exactly. And it's getting to the point where some governors are going to abolish property tax. I mean, why should you keep paying taxes on the land you own?
For sure.
You know, this is what we used to make our money on back in the day, was the tariffs. I mean, look at how much we're making now. It's incredible what's coming in on the tariffs, and then you can use them as leverage. But instead, the Federal Reserve turned it around on us. And over the years, they've been tightening the screws. Hell, they tax you when you die.
Right.
But even with that, it takes us back to more of a spiritual way.
Yeah.
Less, was it less sacred, more spiritual?
Well, we're not preoccupied
Sacred,
with having to
less
keep up.
secular. Less secular, more sacred.
Right.
That's what it was.
Because we're not preoccupied with work all the time and getting the kids to school and, you know, the system. Once the system is broken, we do become more spiritual because we're not eaten up by the material.
So, any solutions?
It's coming.
Go right back to. Can we go back to the original Constitution now?
Well, that's the whole point. I was getting back to getting rid of the NGOs and the bureaucrats that make rules but aren't elected. That's why the whole seventh floor got fired. That's why a lot of senators and congressmen are going to be gone after the primaries.
Do you think it? Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, the thing is, we got to make sure our children learn it. If you're going to have a constitution, they have to know it.
Yeah, we have to be able to enforce it, which has been an issue for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's no, I'm not going to, I'm trying a different way. Do you think it's possible that some of the things that we're seeing with bureaucrats being fired and NGOs being shut down is to placate the patriots from actually doing the hard work of solving it?
No, these people are guilty of crimes against humanity. They're going down for a lot more than just what they did with the fraud.
But no Epstein list.
There's an Epstein list.
Right, but no released and no...
Anons have seen it. The people who were on the board, we've seen it. But it's not that it's a list. The list thing came from the shills who invaded the board. We had people who kept invading the board and, you know, trying to mislead everybody and throw misinformation in. There are people that Jeffrey Epstein abused, or people abused on his island.
Sure.
But it's not who you think. The first name that came out just today that I saw was JonBenet Ramsey.
Okay.
And that kind of really made me mad.
Well, I'm not talking about victims. I'm talking about the perpetrators. We haven't seen.
Well, that's the point. You find the victim. And when we know who the true victims are, we'll know who the perpetrators are. We already know who the perpetrators are, in a sense. And there are photographs out there. And
I'm sure there's hours of video. But my point was if this administration has denied it and obfuscated it and is now in violation of a law that says it needed to be released by the end of last month, where I don't see any accountability yet.
The whole point of that was a misdirection to get, you got to understand that they're playing head games with each other over there. The only reason we haven't heard anything from Kash Patel or Pam Bondi is because they're still doing an investigation. And for the first time in our lives, or in a long time, we've got some professionals who will not disclose any information while the investigation is going on. I think the best person to read about that is Brian Cates. He explains it beautifully, and he's on X. And his last name is Cates, Cates.
Uh-huh.
And he explains why we're not hearing what it is we want to hear, because what the majority of the people think they want to hear is not the objective. They're also focused on the Epstein list. They're not paying attention to the bigger things that are going on. When you get a bunch of people focused on a little thing and going in a loop on that, you can accomplish a lot behind them that they don't see. Before anybody knew it, Venezuela was done. And now they're working on Iran. They're talking about Cuba and Mexico. And all of this is going lightning fast. And there's some dimwits out there that are still screaming about the list.
Do you think they're dimwits?
I think that these liberals in the street that are screaming about it are the dimwits, yes, because they're the ones that seem to be hyped up about it.
All right.
I think like watching a lot of the protests in the recent days,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they really know what they're doing.
Exactly.
I
Before
think-
they were screaming that they didn't want it released. And now they're screaming, the senators were screaming they didn't want it released. And now they're screaming they want it released.
Like, I don't think they really know.
I think it's a
it sounds
game.
good. I think it sounds good to them. I think the cause sounds good to them.
I think it's a red herring. Look here, don't look there. We already know who the victims are because they've come out publicly and said so. We already know who the perpetrators are because they told us who they were. This whole redaction, blacked out lines, it's a ruse to keep people going in circles and not focusing on bigger things. It's a distraction. I mean, you can go ask anybody that was on that board, who are the victims? And they will point you to the website. They will point you to the pictures. Who are the perpetrators? And they'll tell you.
Which board are you speaking of?
It began on 4chan, and then we moved it to 8chan. And because the shills kept getting really bad and the owner of the page couldn't control it, he made his own board called 8kun, 8kun. And this is where we got the information for us to dig for. They gave it to us via the Socratic method because they couldn't really come out and say as much. So we would go, and it was thousands of people. And some of these people are amazing, the stuff they pulled up, because they kept telling us that the information is out there. You just have to find it. Which goes back to what I was saying before about how much on the internet really gets hidden. So a bunch of these people and these hackers and these autists, they called them, started digging and started coming up with phenomenal information, and it just snowballed from there. And it started on the end of October 2017. And I think there's something like 4,700 posts that are archived that anybody, when the links are still active, you can go back and read it for yourself and see the research for yourself. So now what you find is, because that place is difficult for the average person to find, because it's not just listed anywhere, you have all of these people over on X who are taking that information that was dug up over the couple of years and throwing it out there on X for other people to see. And what it's doing is it's causing people to wake up. The information they didn't want us to see is getting out there. And this is why they had made a big stink about Elon buying X, because we were all being censored on there. I lost my account. A lot of us lost our accounts. All the patriots that were on YouTube got kicked off, ended up over on Rumble. And just recently they allowed them back on.
It's a big old mess out there, that's for sure.
Yeah, it is. But
It is
some of
nuts.
us were dedicated to the research. And those of us who could no longer do research, because I had to move in the middle of it, pass it on from the others.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you as well. Don't trust the plan.
Yeah,
The
you, I do. I trust it. I understand how it's going, and I am comfy as all get out.
I'm trying to just stay positive
Yeah.
and be within a more, I guess you could say, connected to God and do things like that and learn
Yeah.
how to be more self-sustainable.
Yes, that's what you're supposed to do. But the constant theme through this whole thing over the years that we were doing it was get your popcorn and enjoy the show, which says a lot, really, if you think about it. Enjoy the show. In other words, sit back, get comfy, take care of yourself, take care of your family, take care of your household, do what you have to do, and just enjoy the show. The war's already won. The battles are still ongoing.
I do follow the money trail. The problem is the money disappears at one point in time. So
yeah,
you
right?
follow the money trail and then it vanishes. And you're kind of like, okay, where did it go?
Yeah.
I don't believe it's going where
Lately to Somalia. That's okay.
So
though.
Aldo, Lost, are you still there? You've been very quiet.
He's probably eating something.
Lost.
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm actually eating.
I knew it.
Did we take
there
a
you go.
trip to CVS for popcorn again?
Nah, this time I'm making some homemade dinner, so no popcorn this time.
Oh, he actually cooked.
So
No,
Aldo,
I'm here though. I'm listening.
Lost does a YouTube channel. You probably remember him from back in the day. He goes to different geographic locations and talks about the Mandela effect.
Oh, nice.
Hey, what's up, Algo? I think I've seen your name before on Nachiketa's YouTube channel.
Yeah, I used to roll around with Nachiketa. Absolutely.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's right. I was like, I know this name from somewhere.
That would be it. We spent some
Yeah.
quality time talking to each other over the internet in front of strangers.
Yeah, I did a live stream with him a couple times too. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, very nice person.
I'm glad he's back. He disappeared for a while.
And he's working on you're working on your Gibraltar.
Oh yeah, so yeah, I just I'm still working on it. I just released episode 24. I have one more episode for the whole season.
Nice.
Yeah.
Maybe one of your mods, Golden, can put Lost Geo's channel link in the chat so I can check it out.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, so yeah, like Golden Side says, I go around, exploring geographical Mandela effects. I don't know if you relate to any. I'll go.
Geographical Mandela. Well, I do. Yeah. New Zealand's in a different place. Australia's larger than it used to be. Central and South America have shifted on the maps. I don't know if they've shifted in physical reality, but on the maps they have.
Yeah, they also shift in physical reality. So anything that you see on the maps, the physical reality shifts with it.
I haven't traveled enough, but I would definitely take your word for it.
Yeah, so I relate to the New Zealand one. It used to be northeast of Australia. Now it's southeast of Australia.
Right. There's always northeast. Absolutely.
And when that was the case, Australia and New Zealand were much further south, separated by lots of water, from Indonesia and Papua New Guinea. And now it's just like maybe a 30-minute boat ride to Indonesia.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's
It was literally the land down under. That's why it was, that's why we call it the land down under. But it's not under anymore. It's just like the land right next to it. So
yeah, I don't know of any specifically in North America, but I do. Though I recognize that for sure, and even Central and South America has shifted to me from being more directly under to a little bit to the side, kind of.
You mean South America?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that was you're saying it was underneath the United States, right?
Right.
Yeah, now it's all the way southeast, like completely east of the whole entire country. Now it's east, the whole continent. It's crazy.
Yeah, that didn't make sense to me for sure.
So,
thank you for the channel leak.
Yeah, those they inspire me most because that's not land masses aren't human made, right? A lot of the Mandela effects are human made things, like movie quotes, logos, what else? I don't know. What else is there?
Sure, books with book titles.
Yeah, book titles, that's human made. Land masses is not human made.
Right.
That's something that's made by God. So if these things that are not made by humans can like just literally change overnight, that's huge. That's big. That's like something that should be I guess looked more into, right?
Yeah, I should
Studied more.
garner a lot of attention.
Mm-hmm.
And definitely above our pay grade, right?
Yeah, so we're not the only ones. There's a lot of people out there with the same exact memories as us, So I'm trying to, I gather evidence and memories, and I kind of like compile it, and then that's what I do with Gibraltar. So I went there, and I feel like Gibraltar is gonna actually prove that case.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. It was an island in another reality.
So why'd they call it the Rock of Gibraltar? Isn't there something that's the Rock of Gibraltar?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because it's literally a rock, right? And the reason why, in the reality in which it was an island, it was because it was a rock that stuck out of the water in the middle of the Mediterranean. It was the rock. It stuck out. That's why it was, but in this reality, it's still called a rock, which is stupid because like it's attached to Spain. So who cares?
Wait, are you saying Gibraltar is now connected to Spain?
Yeah, it's now connected to Spain via a small isthmus.
No.
It's no longer an island in this reality.
I think we got Algo on one now.
I had not heard that. It was always an island that I knew of.
Oh, so are you just finding out about this?
Just right here, right now.
Wow. Okay. Coming at you live and direct here.
It surprises me.
So yeah, it's no longer an island like many of us remember. It was literally, it's kind of like a similar parallel universe. I remember how I actually have a map of it. I drew it from my memories. I'm going to put it on my website soon, which hasn't launched yet. But it was literally in the same geographical region. It was island between Spain and Morocco. Do you remember that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was in the middle of the Mediterranean. And whoever controlled Gibraltar controlled the entrance to the Mediterranean Sea. Like, so that's why the British wanted to control of it. That's why it's British overseas territory. What's crazy is that it's still British overseas territory, but now it's connected to Spain, which is crazy because, you would have thought out of all these hundreds of years, Spain would have sent an army to take over this little piece of land that's attached to them. But for some reason, they haven't, And so I classify that as reality residue because The reason why they haven't taken over, Gibraltar is because it's at that reality in which we remember it being an island. That reality still exists. We can't see it no more. It's like we kind of like shifted frequencies.
Right.
So any information that we can find that refers to it as an island, like keyword island, like I have a whole bunch of books in my closet that refer to it as an island, and it's like literally using the word island and describing it as an island. That's reality residue. That the reason why that information still exists is because that reality that we remember, it still exists. We can't see it no more.
We're just not in there anymore.
It's hidden. So what I've come to realize is that reality. If that's the case, we have to assume that everything in reality is a blend of realities. So we perceive reality as one, but everything is information, and that information is a mixture of other realities that are hidden.
Right.
We can't see it. We're kind of like in one frequency. You could kind of like imagine that.
They got split. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So is this two quick questions? One, do you ever listen to a X account called Truth Seeker?
Sounds familiar.
She's a Canadian woman, late 20s, early 30s.
No.
Okay, so yesterday she posted the exact same thing that you're saying about it being two separate parallel realities.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a little 2-minute video that she made based on the remember the blue dress and the
blue and white dress.
Yeah, the blue and white dress.
What color do you see?
Dress. Yeah,
I remember that. I actually relate to that because I remember it seeing it white and then it changed to blue. I was like, wait, I saw white before, and it like just changed to blue. It was no longer white.
Right. Yeah. So she jumps off from that point and she talks about, okay, so her version is the reality did split, and she kind of attributes it to what's going on in Minnesota, to where the people literally saw something different than we saw. So the ones that are yelling that she didn't hit the guy with the car and he just murdered her, they really saw that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just that they're stupid or that they're just too far lefty. It's just that they are in a reality that we don't have the same access to your exact point. I just thought it was interesting that she came out with this yesterday, and here it is again today.
I see what you're saying. And so, yeah, I actually totally believe that. So I actually mentioned this in the other live stream before. We're not seeing the same things. This is what the Mandela effect is proving. We're not seeing the same things. Everything we see in reality, we're seeing different things of the same thing. So these things are like every item in reality, every item in front of you, you could kind of think of it as an application, an application when you open up a phone.
Uh-huh.
So that application exists differently in other realities. It just has different settings.
Right.
So the Mandela effect is proving that we're not seeing the same things. And this is why people will say, they'll see this, but then there's another group of people seeing something else.
Yeah, for sure. I see that a lot out there
in
the realm.
Yeah, you can see that like in sports games sometimes, like where the referees make a bad call, and like it's so clear that it's just a bad call. And it's possible that the referees are actually seeing something else, and the fans are seeing something else than what the referees are seeing.
I had never thought, but yeah, when you say it that way, I get it. I could say that because they don't overturn it. It's like, what?
Mm-hmm. So this is why a lot of things, when you watch them on the news, a lot of things on the news don't make sense. You'll see like public figures make certain statements where there's incorrect facts stated. It could be that they're actually in another reality. We're just seeing what they're seeing. We're seeing what they're seeing. I don't know how to explain it. They're seeing something else, but we're hearing it.
Right.
So this is why the information doesn't make sense. And like there's incorrect quotes, it's because reality is a mixture, a blend of realities, hidden worlds. I like to call it hidden worlds.
Interesting.
That's what the whole world map is made up of. When you look at a map, you go open up Google Maps. When you look at the whole world map, you're actually looking at a blend of hidden worlds.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Which probably would include Hollow Earth, and would include a flat plane, and would include many different things, I imagine.
I'm not too familiar with those topics. But...
Gotcha. Well, only from the effect that there are people that believe this place is flat and not spinning through space, and there are people that believe this realm is hollow, this Earth is hollow, and there are entities in government with massive cities underneath the surface of the Earth.
Hmm.
Maybe those are hidden worlds.
Possible. Yeah.
I don't
mean,
know, but I'm
the
definitely gonna get to your channel and check it out.
Alco, do you want to play? I'll
It's
go
up
off.
to you. It's a cool little short video. It's up to you if you
I'm
want to.
more than cool with it, dude.
Okay.
I gotta figure
Yeah.
out how to do this though.
Okay,
Let's see.
okay, you got it. There we go.
Okay.
Is this the video you were talking about?
Yeah, listen to this woman.
The minute this video gets published, I know I'm going to get put on a list to be randomly drug tested at work. I work in the oil field. So Sarah, the HR lady, if you see this, and Tyler, the safety dude, if you see this, I'm not on drugs. I'm on the spectrum. Okay. But I pass them every single time. So it's okay. And my boss thinks I'm hilarious. Anyway, you guys remember in 2015, something went viral on Facebook and it was a dress. And all of us were seeing a different color. But some people were seeing black and blue. Some people were seeing white and gold. Let me show you and tell me in the comments what color you guys see. You guys remember this? This ended relationships and friendships because we used to argue about what they see. I see gold and white, right? So now I went down the rabbit hole just to see how scientifically they are explaining this phenomenon. According to scientists, some are saying it could be because the mutation in the back of our eyes, like the cones, have mutated. So we're seeing different color combinations. But that's really weird because mutations are usually random. So if they're random in different people, that would mean that we would have seen a lot more different color combinations than we saw online of people saying, you know, just the two choices. So then I went and read another theory that stated, oh, well, it has to be with the phone and the filter, or like, you know, whatever they were viewing this picture on, depending on the filter that they were viewing it on, maybe that's why it changed colors. However, I literally asked people on my phone what color combination they saw, and each person saw something different, even though the phone is exactly the same. So I don't think that's the theory. So here's my theory, and it's just random thoughts. I think that we are living like in two separate realities, but parallel to each other, which is why we're seeing such a split in people and seeing and perceiving things so differently, even though we're watching the exact same thing. And I honestly think it had something to do with CERN turning it on, because ever since 2015, things just seemed really off. You know what I mean? Like super off. And it seems like we have two different realities. Like even with the Renee thing, some people see her hitting the police officer. Some people are like, no, she didn't hit it, even though they're watching the same video. So now I'm wondering, what if both sides are right in their own timeline, and we're just literally parallel living to people with a completely different reality than ours? Yeah, that's totally like crazy. I know it sounds insane, but like it kind of explains like the phenomenon and everything that we've been seeing around here. But I want to know what you guys think.
Yeah, I like it. She's not wrong. I don't just think it's just two realities, though. I think it's many realities. We're living in many realities. There's more. If there's one and there's another one, then we have to assume there's more realities beyond two.
Which, yeah, could be totally the case. It would just, it struck me that I was hearing you say the same thing I heard her say yesterday.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because that hits on the point. So
Yeah, it was like, wow, it's all
Yeah.
this shit circling in the same place. Back in the day, I used to think Mandela effect was God doing it to raise the awareness of people and separate the wheat from the chaff, but I don't know if I think that anymore.
You don't think that it's to raise our awareness?
Maybe to a point still, but
Okay.
after you get it, then why keep having it? Unless there's just more people that need to wake up to it. I don't know.
I think there definitely is more people waking up to it. I don't think they identify it as the Mandela effect, because a lot of the stuff that you see like on TikTok and YouTube shorts, and they're talking about the Mandela effect, it all has to do with like, and Series is going to get me for this one, Kit Kat or the monocle or something to that nature. So I don't think they're really equating it with the Mandela effect. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because
Yeah, and maybe in time they will.
yeah, maybe they will.
There's people that find it interesting and fascinating. They want to dive deeper, and there's people that aren't. They might relate to it, but they just don't care. Like at the end of the day, people have their own lives. They have bills to pay, so
Yeah.
it's not gonna like strike people as hard as
That's just it. People got bills to pay and the system to feed, and yeah.
Life is life, and
She's one of us, though. She's one of us. She's got some really nice things. She's from, I believe, Alberta. Works the oil fields, and I think lately she's been in Texas.
Yeah, she lives in Alberta. She's from Bosnia originally.
And she's from Ukraine.
Nah, it was Bosnia, I think, when she went through the Bosnian.
I think
war
she
that
came
Clinton
through
started.
Bosnia, but she stated several times that she's Ukrainian.
Okay.
so she's
But-
on X.
Yeah, I dropped her ex in both the chats.
her ex-husband.
No, ex
No.
on Truth,
I'm joking.
Twitter. Yeah, she gets into the political stuff too, and she makes a lot of sense. She digs.
Yeah, I know it's crazy, right? You would think an eye-opening thing phenomenon such as the Mandela effect would have like gone like probably made mainstream news, right? Or kind of like inspired maybe National Geographic, History Channel, Discovery Channel to like maybe make a documentary on this. Like they talk about ancient aliens, things that you can't
Yeah,
even,
that was
can't
kind
even
of goofy.
you can't even like stuff like that. You can't even prove, right? You
Mhm.
try and prove it, but the Mandela effect, there's proof of it, right? You're seeing thousands and thousands of videos all over the internet of people talking about the same false memories.
There is a guy, he's a physicist, and he talks about wormholes. It's not Mandela effect, but he talks about, and he shows examples like with MS-370, that plane. His name is Ashton Forbes, and he's on X. I believe it's at just Ashton. I'll find his link for you. But he gives a scientific explanation of how these weird things happen. And he uses that flight to explain it because he's got the video from the satellite to prove it. So it's out there. You just have to know who to listen to, because if you're looking at mainstream, everything that's on your syndicated and cable TV is programmed. It's programmed. It's to program you. They're not going to give you any truth there, but this is why they wanted X shut down, is because you're getting people like Ashton Forbes on there that are blowing whistles.
So if our reality is split, and I've been thinking about this since you just said it a little bit ago. Did we have a choice of which one?
We do have a choice. The problem is that when we make that choice, the system kicks back on us.
I think this goes into the question of if you dive a little bit deeper, if there's such thing as free will, right? Like, do we have free will? Because if we don't, then we don't have a choice.
We have free will.
I believe we do have free will, right? I mean, because
Mhm.
you also got to think about there's a lot of evil in this world.
Yeah.
So people have the choice to do good or bad, and a lot of people choose to do bad. It's evil. It's free will. So I think
I agree with that.
do we have a choice? I think we probably do. We just I don't know.
We weren't consciously aware of the choice that we
Yeah.
make. But
Yeah,
I do think
we can.
I wish I would have made the choice where my bank would show like $1 million.
Yeah. Don't we all? Now we have
I'm
a choice. It's just that the system is designed as such that it makes it very, very difficult to do the things it takes to keep your free will because we make little concessions along the way.
No, I think Golden from did we choose which reality we choose with in reference to Mandela? Like you said, not a conscious choice, but the choice is probably made based on a person's level of awareness at the time of a split.
I think it has to do with their frequency. The more knowledge you have, the higher your frequency, the more you vibrate into that.
okay. I can definitely understand that. I look at like the people I've met in the Mandela effect, and we all have similar things in common as the way we look at things. Not everything in common, but like the higher part of ourselves. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
That we want to be good to other people and we're more spiritual and stuff like that.
We know the difference between right and wrong and we practice it. It's called integrity. Not everybody has it.
Would you agree, Algo?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think there's a lot of similarities. For me, it doesn't have anything to do with knowledge because if you got the wrong knowledge, then I don't think that helps you. But I think it's more of a conscious awareness of the essence of love in this realm and how you show up with people and how kind you are and things like that. So I think all those people that had like X number of love points, when it split, they're in one reality, and the ones where X minus are in the other one. It'd be more like that in my mind.
Yeah.
Well, we also have to have discernment. That's supposed to be one of the tools you use when you gain knowledge.
I definitely can, like what you were saying, Algo, I can definitely understand that. I think back to when I started with the Mandela effect and stuff like that. Really, I was just looking for, like, is this happening to just me or is it happening to other people? And who can I relate to? You know what I mean?
Right?
Is there
Yeah.
anyone else out there that can relate to this? Because I
That
see
makes
this.
sense.
And when I found the 444, when I found J Crust and stuff, and realized it wasn't just me it was happening to, it was a bunch of other people. And I kind of felt okay, you know, and became comfortable with it and became more of an observer than at the time than talking about it. And it led me up to help people that are newer to the Mandela effect and people changes and personal Mandela effects. And now I'm on YouTube, which I didn't think I was going to be at the beginning of my journey.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And look at you now.
And look at me now. So I just think, like, wait, like you say, the levels of our humanity, I guess, to sum it up.
It's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's some people out there who just don't have the capacity to grow past their belly button.
You crack me up every time you say that.
Well, that's true. That's where those lower 3 energy centers are. That's what you need to be human. But they don't get those upper ones in gear. Sometimes it takes them some lifetimes.
Do you guys look into the chakras and stuff like that? Algo lost. Either of you?
Oops.
No, I mean,
No, I haven't. I know of them, but I don't dig into that.
Yeah, I'm not huge into it either, but
That's
it's
one of my
interesting.
tools. It's one of my tools.
I know there's a lot, that has to do with the centering of yourself.
Yeah.
And
Has a lot to do with their emotions and how they handle them. You don't have just those energy centers. You also have 3 main centers aside from those. And it's all how we are plugged into reality around us, which is why I think it's what frequency that causes people to move.
It causes them to do what?
The reality shifting that everybody talks about. I think it's the frequency of the people, like I said before. I think when the frequency changes, when your frequency changes, it matches you to that reality. And the earth itself vibrates. It's called the Schumann resonance. And we're supposed to vibrate in harmony with that. And there are many harmonies. And depending on what frequency you're running at, that's where you're going to be. It's like fish live in water, people and animals live on land, because we breathe air. When your frequency, you've noticed it too with certain people in your life. When your frequency raises or lowers, you lose touch with certain people. You no longer resonate with them, or they no longer resonate with you. And to put it in the biblical prophecy, weren't we told that our own family members would turn against us? So the more knowledge you have, the less other people want to hear it. They get angry at you.
Mm.
You try to tell the truth to people who don't want it, and they're going to rebel and they're going to fight. You're vibrating at a different frequency than they are.
So on that lines, like Algo, have you like introduced any family members or friends that aren't on YouTube and stuff to the Mandela effect type stuff?
Oh, we've talked about it. Sure. Yeah. I don't know about introducing them to them, but when they ask questions and they say, okay, didn't Kit Kat used to have a dash in the thing? Then we can have conversations or whichever thing strikes them. But I don't know. I've never been an advocate for it. I've never been an advocate for any of my positions. I'm more of, I think what I think. And then if somebody wants to talk about it, great, let's talk about it.
Okay.
But yeah, so.
See, me, I kind of keep it separate. Like I don't involve my family with that stuff. But if any of them had a question about it, I would answer it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
I don't openly go and ask them if, like,
Same here.
I don't thing like that. Or about
Wait
the
till
mom.
they ask. When somebody asks, they really want to know. If they don't ask you, they're not looking for it.
Keck says Mandela effect is like Fight Club.
Nice way to put it. Accurate, I guess.
Not just Mandela, any subject that gets really, really deep. Some people out there are not prepared for the deep water.
No, not
They
at
don't
all.
know how to swim yet.
So Lost is going into the army. How many more
Yes.
weeks do you have, Lost?
I have approximately like 3 more months. So that's
Okay.
like 12 weeks.
Take your camera with you. I'm pretty sure you'll run into some interesting stuff in your travels.
Yeah, I'm going to have to see what I'm allowed to bring to basic. So
Yeah.
I can only bring like a backpack, so I don't know what items I could bring with me. But yeah, I'm looking forward to exploring new places.
I'm looking forward to hearing about it. I know it's going to be a while.
Yeah, I'll try and share it when I can.
Good.
Yeah, share it or send me an email, and then I can update people on how you're doing.
Oh, so can you share your email in the private chat?
Yeah.
All right.
Which branch are you joining?
I'm going to the army.
Okay, nice.
you're going to be stationed in South Carolina, right?
So that's for basic. And AIT will be in Georgia, and then I don't know where my duty station is gonna be. That's after I finish AIT.
Nice.
AIT is basically where they train you for your military job.
Do you know what your job's going to be?
Yeah, I'll be doing signals, signal communication. So I'll be doing like IT work,
Nice.
and yeah, I'm trying to get into cybersecurity. So
Oh, good. Well, I wish you all the best on that path.
appreciate it, Algo. Thanks, man. Hopefully, I can continue my once I'm able to take vacation leave days, I'll continue my investigations around the world, the geographical Mandela effects.
Right. Yeah.
I want to go back to Gibraltar because I feel I have a real good, solid case to prove here.
Yeah, I would too.
I want to try and push it to National Geographic and, History Channel. That
That would be something.
it's something that's missing. Important information that's missing in all these freaking like ancient apocalypse shows, like the one on Netflix. Like this guy, Graham Hancock, he thinks he comes with a theory that it's called the Younger Dryas theory.
Yeah, I watch him and I watch Randall Carlson.
He comes up with the Younger Dryas theory that something cataclysmic happened, and this is why all these ancient civilizations just disappeared. And I'm like, well, where's the geographical Mandela effects play a role in this? His theory doesn't even make sense. And he's like, they made 2 shows for him, the Ancient Apocalypse 1 and 2, a whole series, 2 series for him on Netflix. I'm like, this is crazy. This guy has it all wrong.
He was on Joe Rogan a few times.
He's not even considering geographical Mandela effects or reality residue. Once you learn about reality residue, then you'll understand that all these ancient civilizations that we see around the world, they're actually not from the same timeline. They're actually reality residue of hidden worlds.
Yeah, but he's an academic too, so he's going to be in the system.
Mm.
I like Randall Carlson. He makes a lot of sense.
I've seen him a few times too, but
Yeah.
even him too. They're not even considering geographical Mandela effects. I don't even think they know about the Mandela.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say I don't think they even think about them.
Mm-hmm. Or the concept, the knowledge of what reality residue is. Like once you understand what reality residue is, then we got to look at everything differently.
Well, you'd have to get them to see it to do something about it, but they're all part of the system. So you're only going to hear the academic stuff. You're not going to hear anything about Mandela.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're famous. That's how you get famous. You toe the line.
Yeah, I guess, right. They're kind of like, they're somewhat saying they're restricted to what they're saying, or they're probably just selling something just for money.
It's not that they're restricted. They're probably programmed too. If you grow up in academia, you're given certain things to study. And the thing about Darwin, if you disputed Darwin, then you get blackballed, in that type of science. I mean, it's ridiculous. This is why I'm glad we have YouTube and Rumble and all these outlets on the internet practically free of charge, so that people can do this and not have to go through the middleman and the agents and the fees. And sometimes just to get it on television or cable, it's going to cost you more than you make.
Mm-hmm.
Say, Gio, have you been reading the chat at all?
No, let me click on it. I was stuck on private.
Daniel Riffle has a globe that has Gibraltar with a little tiny passageway from the 80s.
Find it really hard to believe. Like really
He'd
hard.
like to send you a picture.
The
I think
map
that's
that
what he
we-
said earlier.
Oh, go ahead and is there a way to send it?
He was asking for an email or someplace to send it.
Oh, I don't share my personal email. I don't have another email to send it to. So, maybe you could I don't know. Give me a link. Share a link. Where's the link where we could go see it?
It's his globe.
Yeah.
Oh, it's his globe. Yeah,
He has a
I,
globe.
Did you a picture?
I highly doubt it though, because everything that we remember, it doesn't exist. So we have to draw all the memories of the world map from our memories.
Daniel, if you send it to me, I can share it on the.
Well, I mean, couldn't it just be residue as opposed to doubting it?
Yeah, it could be.
Well, it's an old globe that he has, is what I understood.
Well,
It's an old map.
It's what is he trying to say? It's I didn't read the comment. Where is it?
I believe he said that it's a globe that on the globe that he owns, it shows Gibraltar has a passage through.
But is it an island? That's the question.
Well, that's
Does
what
it-
I
does
understood.
Does it depict Gibraltar as an island, or does it just say the Strait of Gibraltar? Because if it just says Strait of Gibraltar, that's the passage he's probably referring to, just the straight water, the water
Okay.
strait. Is that what he's referring to by
I
passage?
don't know. That's all he said.
Yeah. So the only residue is depicting the only thing that would be considered residue is if you see Gibraltar as an island.
Yeah, send it to Sai and she could post it.
I'll send you a picture of my map, Sai. I drew it from my memories, and then you can share it on the screen. I see it here. I'm gonna send you.
Hold on a
link.
second.
Do you remember, Algo, how Gibraltar appeared on the map by any chance?
Let me picture it in my mind.
Or you're not too sure? What would you say?
Well, no, I kind of think it went from northwest to southeast, didn't it?
What did?
Like tip to tip. It started in the northeast and it went south to the southwest. If I'm looking at a map, that's what my mind sees.
You're saying that you're saying Gibraltar as an island?
Yeah, and it's angled from northeast to southwest. Not real steep, but that's what my mind remembers.
Are you talking about the terrain, you mean, or the actual direction that it looked like on a map?
Yeah, the direction, because like if you picture New Zealand, I mean, or even anything, you picture Florida, it's running south. The tip run the south, and the islands kind of jut out. So when I think about it, I picture it, and it was sitting a fair distance from the mainland, and it went northeast to southwest.
Huh. That's
what
not
my
how,
mind
that's not
remembers.
how I remember it. But here, I just sent you the email, Sai.
I haven't gotten anything yet. I'm waiting
It just said set right
for
now.
both. Okay. Daniel, I didn't get anything from you either yet.
Did you get it?
Not
Daniel
yet.
put in the chat that it wasn't an island; it was just the strait.
I'm sorry, say that again, Algo.
Daniel put in the chat that it was not the island; it was just the strait.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that's not residue. I mean, all maps show the strait. So
Okay. Oh,
you got it.
yeah, I got it. I just got to bring it up. Give me a minute.
Cool. So that's how you'll see in a little bit. This is how Gibraltar was when it was an island. From my memories. So that's the only way we can try and recover what we remember, because what we remember doesn't exist. It only exists in our memories, which is the crazy part.
Yeah, that's interesting.
All right. There we go.
Yeah. So you could zoom in probably a little bit more. Yeah, that's great.
Is that good?
Yeah. So you see that distance in between Spain and Morocco?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was the distance I remember. It was a wide opening. It's like if you look at a map now, like if you open up Google Maps and you see the distance between Turkey and Egypt in the Mediterranean Sea, if you see that distance, it was approximately the same distance between Spain and Morocco before. But now in this reality, if you look up in Google Maps, Spain and Morocco, Europe and Africa, basically, they look like as if they're connected.
Wow.
They look like they're connected now. If you would have to zoom in to see that there's actually a Strait of Gibraltar there. But yeah, I mean, this map you're looking at on the screen, this is how it appeared. So it was an island literally at the entrance of the Mediterranean Sea. As you can see there, Mediterranean Sea at the right, left is Atlantic Ocean, labeled on the top left. And the direction of the rock was different. So not only has it changed from being an island, but the direction of the island has also changed. So now St. George's Hall is a peninsula. Now Gibraltar is a peninsula, and then instead of going from horizontal, how it is on the map on the screen, now the whole island is now it's not an island, but now it's a peninsula that goes vertical now. So St. George's Hall faces north, and Europa Point Lighthouse faces south. So not only there's multiple changes. I mean, it's very similar, I guess, reality, but it's different. So this is why they refer to it as the Gibraltar Straits. So if you ever get a chance to watch my episodes, I'm in Gibraltar and I'm showing, because I went there. I physically went there to actually do an investigative trip. There's so many souvenir shops that sell things that say Gibraltar Straits plural. Now, if you look at a map, you're going to see that there's only, if you open up Google Maps and look at the Strait of Gibraltar, there's only one strait. So why is it that all these souvenirs are saying Gibraltar Straits? It's because that information is coming from the reality that we remember it being an island, because it was a strait to the north of the island and a strait to the south of the island. This is why it's plural. It was known as Gibraltar Straits, and this is why it was strategic. In this map you see on the screen, this makes more sense of the argument or explanation of it being a strategic piece of land, because if you look at that, right, the map on the screen, if you control that little piece of land, it would make sense that you would control the entrance of the Mediterranean Sea, right?
Yeah, or at least have a really heavy trading ports.
Exactly. So, but what's crazy is that if you look at if you look at where Gibraltar is now, you're only controlling the north part of the entrance of the Mediterranean Sea, because it's a peninsula to the north of to the south of Spain, but it's still north. It's north of it's north of the Gibraltar Strait. So how are you controlling the entrance of the Mediterranean Sea to the south? You can't. You can still go south, so.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bookmarked your channel. I'm definitely going to go check it out.
Let's see. Daniel said he sent a picture too. So let's. All right, this one might be a little hard to read, but I'm going to try to zoom in a little bit and share it. And then tell me, guys, if I need to zoom in more or zoom out.
Yeah, you could zoom more.
Okay.
Is this the photo he was referring to before?
On his map.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a little passage between Spain and Morocco.
Yeah, right. This is correct. This is actually the map from this reality. So it's not residue. It's showing the Strait of Gibraltar, the entrance. It's showing one passage, just like all maps do. This is how it looks in this reality now. Now it looks, if you go to Google Maps, you're going to see the same thing you see here on the screen. It looks as if Europe is connected to Africa now. It looks like the Atlantic Ocean is closed off. But you would have to zoom in just to see that there's a Strait of Gibraltar. But it's crazy though, because in that map I showed you before from my memories, It was much, much wider. It was a big opening, but that's not the case anymore. So the reason why I like Gibraltar is because, you know, when I went there, there's so many anomalies. Do you know about the monkeys at Gibraltar?
No.
Monkeys?
Yeah, there's monkeys. So think about how big Europe is, right? It's big continent, right? You know, and out of all of Europe, the only wild monkeys are found in Gibraltar. That little piece of land out of all of Europe. And not only that, but the only tailless monkeys in the world. They don't have any tails. They're literally a whole bunch of Curious Georges.
Wow.
Which, you know, he had a tail as well.
Yeah, he used to. I was going to say he used to have a tail. That's
So,
bizarre. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, and so the monkeys themselves are actually reality. The animals are actually reality residue. You got to ask yourself, if the monkeys have always been there on Gibraltar, right? Why have they never crossed the border into Spain and, you know, created a population throughout Europe, right? They never have. And the reason why is because the reason why they're stuck there is because in another reality, that place is an island. The monkeys can't get off the island. They're stuck. So the monkeys themselves are actually reality residue. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Look it up.
They're
There's monkeys there. It's crazy. The only wild monkeys too. They live on top of the rock. So that's just one out of the many anomalies I experienced there. You're gonna see just if you get a chance, watch my episode. But there's so many. Like even the whole rock itself is Jurassic limestone, and you know, archaeologists and scientists are unable to figure out how is it possible that the whole Gibraltar is Jurassic limestone. How is Jurassic limestone at the above sea level? They can't even explain it.
And connected to Spain, allegedly.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, across the border into Spain, there's no Jurassic limestone, but the whole part of Gibraltar is Jurassic limestone. So that's just another piece of evidence proving that this place is different. It's supposed to be an island. It's supposed to be separated.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be its own thing. But no, here we have a British overseas territory connected by a very small isthmus. And not only that, but it has one of the weirdest airports. Have you seen the airport there?
No.
Look it up. It's in my videos too. You see me landing there in the airport. I landed in Jib Airport. You're gonna see me landing there. It's the only. I believe. I don't know if there's any other new ones, but I believe it's the only airport that has a road in which traffic and pedestrians, it literally cuts through the airport runway where airplanes take off and land. And yeah, it's so bizarre. It's like something you would see in a Twilight.
I want to meet that crossing guard.
And you know, I speak to the security guards there, and I'm speaking to the airport agents and everything. I'm like, have you ever met anyone who has referred to this place as an island? They think it's an island, and I kid you not, everyone said yes. And they say it's always tourists and foreigners, which makes sense because you know, the people there that live in Gibraltar now in this reality on that peninsula, they have always known it to be the way it is now. They have always, you know, life is completely normal for them there. This is how history has been for them and this timeline for them. So, but it makes sense that it's always tourists and foreigners, people from the outside. They always see it differently.
Right. Yeah, because if you were there, you couldn't.
Exactly. You're not gonna, you know, I mean, just imagine you living in Gibraltar and, you know, you're an island and then you're not an island. Like I would imagine people would be going crazy there, but they're not. You know, life is completely normal for them. So it's just a different Gibraltar with a different history.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wow, good catch.
Yeah, if you look at that airport, it's so crazy. Like, you know, the traffic and pedestrians have to stop. There's red lights for them in order for them to, you know, cross and drive across the runway of the airport.
Till the plane goes, and then you're
Till
good.
the plane goes and
wild. Yeah.
lands. Yeah.
Well, what I can do is, because I have to wrap it up in a few minutes, guys, is I can, Boss Gia, I've already put your the link to your YouTube in comments before, but I'll make a post for the community algo. I'll put your Rumble in. We'll put Peanuts in. and Lost, I'll put yours in there. I'll make a whole post, and that way people can check out all your videos, because your videos are really good, and I like the way you do your interviews with people. I like it a lot.
Thank
So we'll definitely get that shared out. Everybody, we got to go. If you want to follow me, I'm going to the Nut House to go have some fun.
I live in the nut house.
We know.
Can
So
you share the link to Nuts?
yeah,
I'll go watch.
yeah. Let me share that link. Give me 1 minute. Oh goodness, hold on.
Well, I will say
Alright.
while she does that, nice to meet you, Gio and Mud Rabbit. It was a good
It was
talk.
very nice to meet you too.
Likewise, nice to
Had
meet
a
you,
good
Ago.
time. Yeah.
Pleasure
Thank
talking.
you, Golden.
Discussing interesting topics.
All right, I shared the link to Nuts in chat. If you guys want to come over, I'm going to be on his panel as well, and we're going to have some fun. He's a really fun channel. And of course, subscribe to Algo's as well over on Rumble. His interviews, well, everybody knows Algo, you're great at doing the interviews with people.
Wow, you're kind. Thank you.
If you want to share any links, Algo, you're more than welcome to.
Oh yeah, can you share Ago's YouTube also?
He doesn't have a YouTube, but he has Rumble.
Oh,
Or do you still have your YouTube up, Algo?
Yeah, my YouTube's still up. I don't really do much on it.
Okay.
There's a lot of old things from 2018 forward, but yeah, I don't post there much anymore. I posted that I was going to be here so people could come see you.
Thank you. They miss you, Algo. They miss you. Do you want to share Indy's link as well?
Oh, yeah, sure. Let me grab it real quick.
Yeah, if you can grab it for me. What's the name of her channel? I just go by Indy.
Independent Many United.
Yeah, Independent Many United. Thank you, Algo.
It's in the private chat.
Yes. She's really fun. She has karaoke and she does music nights where you hear pretty much live performances from people, and she does talks. If you're looking for a place to hang out, kind of just chillax and relax, definitely suggest Indies. Definitely. And her link is also in the chat. So let's wrap it up for tonight, guys. Loved being here. Algo, thank you so much, dude. I know you're a YouTube person.
Fun.
It's always fun here.
I hope you come back and visit us.
There you go.
You night owls are going to go party, and I'm going to go hit the sack. I can't stay up fast. I can't stay up late anymore. I wish I could.
All right, guys. See you over at Nuts. If not, I'll see you possibly next week sometime.
Have a good night, everybody.
Sounds
Have
good.
a
Good
good
night,
night.
guys. Nice
Take care,
meeting you,
guys.
Algo. Take care.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you.
Well, Algo, my friend, thank you very much.
You're welcome so much. That's a good time.
You are very missed. Let me just tell you that.
Thanks.
Very much missed. And I'll see you over Peanuts. If not, I'll see you around.
Yeah. I hope to see you on Rumble. I still go to Indy's place once in a while, and I still go other places. Not much, but a little bit on YouTube.
Yeah.
So
I'll come and check out your channel. You stream Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, right?
Usually, it's generally between 10 and 11 Eastern.
Okay.
Depending on what's going on. I'm in the Mountain Time Zone, so
Yeah, we'll have to go check you out again.
Good. Yeah,
Um,
come on over. It's fun.
Yeah, definitely. All right, everybody. Have a good night. Stay safe. Be kind to one another. And remember, we can always agree to disagree. Have a good one, everybody. Good night.